All right, it's Senior Prestige Motorsports. We got a situation here. We're going to kind of tell you a little bit of a story, and hopefully it will help you from not going down the path that this customer went down, and it will give you some insight on why we're so particular about a turnkey engine and not just a long block and things of that nature. We'll do that, and as you'll see, we did in this case, but it just always scares us, you know, type deal. So I'm going to start this story. This gentleman bought a long block, boost friendly, 363, spent a good bit of money, really nice situation, but bought it less intake and ignition, stuff of that nature. So we dynoed it for him on an intake, just make sure everything in our situation was correct, and we shipped it to him. So he had a shop that he's familiar with, and they went and proceeded to put it in. And I got a call one day, and they headed to the chassis dyno with it, and it wouldn't run. And so basically I started the communication going with them and stuff, and they did a compression check, and it was 65 pounds. And I said, "Ooh, you know, that's you know, obviously that's not good." And they had some ideas of why. So I gave them some data, and they did some checking, came back, said, "Yeah, this is what it is." I said, "Well, that's not right." And I said, "Don't." And so they were going to tear into some things and try to correct it. And I said, "Now make sure that the data you're giving me is correct." And I won't go into all that, but they redid it and found out what they did wasn't correct, and the data I gave them, it was spot on. So at this point in time, basically the low compression, not running, you know, all the stuff I was getting back, I said, you just got to bring the motor back, but leave all the things on it that you installed, okay? So they did. Customer, he brought it up and everything like that. So, so I went to the dyno with it. And then the first thing I did was a compression check, and it was spot on. They had 65 on their gauge. I had 155, you know, which was, for that motor, was correct. So that kind of raised a red flag. And then so obviously before I started it, I pulled the distributor cap off and noticed that the ignition was locked out. I said, okay, not a problem. Type deal. And when I was checking that, I did notice too, just had a lot of play for being locked out and stuff. I was concerned about that, but you know, I didn't do anything there at that point in time. So I fired the motor up and checked the timing. You know, it's at 17 degrees. I said, ooh, okay, so maybe they got some ignition control on this or something, you know, wasn't sure at that point in time. So I set it to 32 degrees and basically tried to make a run. And I didn't even get full throttle, and the carburetor had, it was like 16.5, just dead lean. So, you know, I pulled back out of it and stopped that run. So when you're that lean, I wasn't even going to even mess with the carburetor. So I pulled our dyno carburetor off, put it on, and made it run, and everything was good. It is spot on, ran up to 7,500 like when we shipped it, things of that nature. So I called him, I said, what kind of ignition box do you got? And a 6AL, so no ignition timing type situation set up. So my best guess at that point in time, you know, was that whoever stuck the distributor in, stuck it in, fired it up. I'm just going to speculate, because I didn't go down this path with it, that they didn't even know that they had a locked out distributor. They just checked it at idle, 17 degrees, and didn't even rev it up. That's the only conclusion I can come to why it was like that. So, and it leaked oil like a sieve on the dyno. It was terrible. So basically we pulled the manifold off. I pulled the distributor off. The gear they had on here, you can see it is just totally wiped out. You know, it's almost going to be ready to break there. So it was going to be much longer that was going to be trash. So that's number one. And then, so if you can come down here and look, so when they went to put the silicone on, you can see right there, it's not even touching the manifold. Big, gigantic gap right there. And, you know, same with the back, not as severe and stuff like that. So the quality of work is just scary type situation. So this poor guy, he's caught in the middle. He feels that these people are confident, but just looking at kind of went on and stuff, that it's just scary. Obviously this customer is taking the brunt of it. He thought he was going to maybe save some money or something of that nature, but in the end he didn't. It ended up costing him a lot, and things of that nature. So just make sure that if you don't, and most of the crate engine companies out there, all the big ones, that they know what it takes to make one of these run and stuff like that. They sell you good components, so don't be so leery of that. Or basically, like all he would have had to do is call us. We would have told him, hey, this is what we would do, da 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 da. So kind of recap this just to go back over it. That's there again, like I stated in the beginning, that's really why we're concerned to sell you a complete complete engine ready to go, to where you don't have to go through those traumas. And two, we're one of the few engine companies out there that actually got a car side. So as we look at everything that was done to this engine, things like that would never happen at Precise's car side. So it kind of helps us kind of understand what it takes to put one of these engines in. We have a chassis dyno, everything of that nature. So if you have a project of that nature and you want it done right, definitely give us a call. Have a great day.